That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Gym Crashers with me, Joey the Bull, Dondo,
Whatever
Adam,
this guy is.
Adam, whatever his name
Fuck
is,
that guy.
and your coach Rodrigo.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, what's good, party
Right?
people?
How's it going, man?
Oh, doing good, man. You know it.
Can I talk to the people that are in there?
Talk to him,
Yeah,
man.
talk
Who we
to
got out
whoever you
there?
want.
Well, no. I want to just say a big shout out to Robert Garcia. His nephew passed away last week.
Oh, man.
Javier Pelos Garcia. So, just my condolences, Robert.
Yeah,
we
we're
send our
thinking of you, brother.
condolences here at Gym Crashers.
Thank you
Absolutely.
guys. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
You know it.
my goodness.
Anyways, we got Rodrigo here. He is my friend and confidant from, we work at the same place. So we got
We
Gym
do.
Crashers Dojo. We got Legends Boxing, but he is the boxing rundown.
Yeah, we have a podcast out of the Legends Boxing Gym. It's the Boxing Rundown.
Yep.
Myself, the X-Man, and I have Tony, and then have the Roger man over there, too.
Right? Shout out
Sometimes.
to all those guys, the homies,
Yes,
right?
they're my boys, you know what I mean? So,
Yep,
big
absolutely.
shout out to them.
We love those guys. And Woods, you know all those guys.
Yeah, I know 3/4 of them,
All right.
There you
which
go.
is like half a tostada. There you
Yeah,
go.
you could at least a fourth.
There you go.
I like the
Diez
way he divides
puntos.
tostadas.
Just,
Yeah. So shout out to those guys.
yeah, no, they're cool guys, man.
Absolutely. It's a crew over there, but I love them all. You know it.
So I kind of want to. Oh, go ahead.
No,
for
go
it.
ahead. No.
Let's get the questions going for Rodrigo.
Yeah, thank
How
you, bro.
did you get involved with the sweet science of boxing?
Well, it's crazy, bro. Like the way everything happened for myself was, I have one of my boys when I used to do house parties. I used to promote house parties, and one of the promoters for another party crew, he's like, "Hey, did you ever think about doing some type of media in boxing?" And I was like, "Man, I mean, I like boxing, but I don't know if I could do media in boxing, you know." So he kind of like told me what it was. So I was like, "Man, that's pretty easy, bro." So I started doing like visiting, like kind of like what you guys do, gym crashing,
Yep.
and just interviewing fighters, bro. That's pretty much what I did. I was interviewing fighters. I like the gig, bro. I like the stories behind everybody. But I said, you know what? There's like, and I could cuss, right? There's like fucking
damn right.
hundreds of fuckers doing interviews with their little camera in front of the fighter,
Yep.
never showing their face. So I said, let's just do something different. So I ended up bumping into another cat, my good friend Boxing Guru, and we both had an idea to do something like a little podcast where we sit on the table and interact with the fighters, bro. So we did that. We started that. It was myself, Mr. Boxing Guru, Xavier, the X-Man, Raj, and later on Tony came along, bro. But we started doing that. People, Boxing Guru wanted to do a podcast, so he went to do a podcast. We kept it going. We still do the Boxing Rundown every Monday at 7 o'clock on the Boxing Rundown Facebook, the Boxing Rundown Instagram. We have it there. And on Tuesdays, today at 3 o'clock, we release it for the people that don't have Facebook. You know what I mean? So we do it on YouTube. But we've been doing it, bro. And with that, I got to like really get to the nitty gritty, bro. Like it's different when you have a camera in front of somebody and you're just asking them questions than getting to know like somebody.
That's
you know
a
what I mean?
fact.
Like,
Absolutely.
and I think that's like kind of like we all want to do. You know what I mean? Like
That's why you're here.
exactly, bro. Like I rather like talk to somebody
Yeah.
face to face
Yeah.
than just be like in front of them, like shooting questions and that, man. And, I'm happy.
It's kind of creepy that way, like that POV. I've never really cared for that style because it's like a TMZ, right?
Yeah, a TMZ
but,
host.
right? But if you've ever
It's
seen some of
stalkerish.
those, yeah, if you've ever seen some of the guys, like nothing against it. I mean, they're obviously
Right.
making a living, but they're in sweats and dingy and whatever, and they're talking smack about somebody that's like kind of done something, right? And and it's just like, no, man, like we're people. Let's
Let's
be
be cool. Yeah, and I'm gonna hit on that because there's some guys that just rather do the A side, right?
right. Absolutely.
And when you start talking, and I think you guys have more of an experience because in MMA, the A side and the B side really don't have much of a difference. But in boxing, there is that difference, right? But also when you get to interview the people from the B side, you really get to know stories, man. Like the struggles to fight, you know what I mean? Why people do fighting. Like after we started the whole boxing rundown, bro, I would never call any fighter, be it MMA, be it boxing or any type of thing, a bum, bro, or a taxi driver. Because for anybody to step into the ring, the octagon, or just any fight like that pays you, it takes a lot, bro. I mean, I don't think a lot of people have the balls to go out there and do it.
No, absolutely, and that's a cool thing. In terms of, loving the sport and then actually taking an active role. Like,
Right.
I want to hear about the person beyond the fighter, right?
Right.
Obviously, that was a compelling performance that they did or whatever. They made me a fan of the sport, but who are they really? I mean, if I'm gonna buy a piece of merch, a Gypsy King,
Right.
like are they cool people or they're just like
Or is it just an act, right?
right? Absolutely, and you kind of, and obviously, much like in some aspects of like pro wrestling, right? Boxing, its current incarnation came from Carney, right?
Right.
It came from Carney. So you do have some of those, whether it be promoters, fighters, or whatever, some of those like old school charlatans that
Right.
kind of bring themselves into the fold or become money people or whatever, and it takes away from the fighter and the art that
It is
at
there,
hand.
bro. Yeah, it
yeah,
is.
absolutely.
It is. And I think, do you feel, and I'm going to share with you because do you guys have it a lot in the MMA circuit too? Where you have some of that stuff where...
You know what? I guess, Dondo, you want to...
Well, I think that it depends on the person. So there's a lot of truth in the fighting game in that people often have similar backgrounds. I often hear certain stories. You hear about people that are bullied that step up to the plate and start slugging it out.
Yep.
You hear about people that had a tough time with no dads. You hear those stories. Or you hear about people coming from tough neighborhoods with tough brothers and cousins. So it's similar. They're not all the same, but there's some similarities. And some guys are just tough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then on the, I guess, the other side of things where I was training at Fight Academy when I was consistently training in Pasadena, we had people coming from JPL, right?
Right.
People who were literally shooting things into the moon, right?
Right.
And they, you teach them an arm bar or a combination on the bag or whatever, and it's like,
Mind blowing.
yeah, mind blowing, right?
Yeah,
and,
yeah, yeah. I
And
feel
then
you.
the look of elation on their face when they finally hit it, and it's like, oh my gosh. Or you can talk about like a Remington Thorne, right? Bella Thorne is a brother who trains at Saxon, or
Right.
Keenan Lewis, whose grandfather was Grandpa Munster from the
Right.
Munsters, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And or a gentleman who we ran into again, a Celtic Gladiator veteran in gosh, I'm blanking, but Chris, I just texted him. Oh my goodness. But I mean, there's actors that do this. Yeah, obviously, the John Wick movies, right, based a lot in combat sports, right? Because Keanu Reeves has done it, right? So you've got these, obviously you've got your harrowing stories, like the tragedy into triumph, right?
Right.
And then you've got people from have somewhat the silver spoon or the notable notoriety and whatever, and they have the same amount of fight in that. And in almost no other instance, right, where these two would converge, they
Right.
converge right here, and they become teammates. They, it doesn't matter what race, religion, socioeconomic background. They're a team.
They're a team, yeah.
And if you're fighting, I'm going to be there in your corner, what have you. I'm going to buy a ticket and what have you. And those stories, I think they transcend the sport, when they happen. But yeah, it's an amazing experience.
I like what you got into though, and I feel that there's two things, right? Like the crossover, the whole wrestling thing, right? Well, we're having boxers right now, like Gypsy King going into
Right.
like wrestling right now. Does that really make it seem like he's doing the crossover where he's leaving the whole thing behind in England and he's just saying, you know what, I'm gonna kind of assimilate to the American dream, you know what I mean? And that's what he's doing because he's going into this whole wrestling thing with and I mean, WWE was hurting for numbers. And now
Absolutely.
he's bringing in some type of numbers. The boxing fans are looking at that. So with that said, it's like the same thing with the John Wick whole movie. It's like Keanu Reeves is doing this whole thing and he's having this whole success on it. And it's just because he's doing stuff that we're used to seeing in sports. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like, man, there's money to be made, but the money is not being kind of like shared with a lot of people. That's what I feel like.
No, absolutely. I mean, it goes into the pockets, the arms and the pockets of the promoters a lot of times, right? But the crazy thing about it, so on that same like SmackDown show, right? I mean,
yeah.
you had The Rock coming back. He's a third generation wrestler. You also had former UFC champion in Brock Lesnar, and he got attacked by another former UFC champion in Cain Velasquez, right? And it's crazy where all of these worlds kind of converge, right?
Right.
And most people, the purists, whether you're a boxing purist, you're like, oh man, the Gypsy King, he's going to get that WWE money, blah, whatever. Or UFC, why did Brock do that? Why did Kane do that?
Right.
They're kind of belittling
Selling
themselves.
out,
Right,
right.
absolutely. But the thing about it is, we're talking about them, right? And if you're a purist, right, and if you don't get into what I like to call the pop culture lexicon, where not just fight fans are talking about you, but people who wouldn't even watch in any other instance, they're getting into it, they're talking it. That's money on the table that wasn't there before.
Exactly.
Right? And the thing about it, if that doesn't exist, whether it be the money, the attention, or what have you, you could be a purist all you want, and this thing never grows. Nobody gets paid, and we're kind of.
Well,
Joey, you got something to say?
It's like back to the whole Cain Velasquez thing, and a lot of these new generation kids not knowing who he is. Now I notice that the YouTube numbers are going up because kids are going back watching that 2010.
Yeah.
When Cain Velasquez beat
Brock Lesnar
in the first round.
Right.
So now people are like, holy shit, this is Cain Velasquez.
This is Cain
A lot of
Velasquez.
young generations didn't know who he was until they look at YouTube fights.
Right, absolutely.
And it's pretty crazy. And it's same with the whole thing with the Gypsy King. If you go back in the mid, I think, 80s when Muhammad Ali fought Gorilla Monsoon.
Yeah,
They're
absolutely.
bringing that whole old school
yeah.
type of wrestling.
Yes.
So I dig it.
Yeah.
A lot of wrestlers don't dig that because they're thinking, UFC fighters and boxers should stay in their own circle. But you don't realize that this is bringing in money into the wrestling.
The
And
overall
entertainment.
pot. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, man, I mean, the more the better. I feel like it. Like you said,
That's right.
we start talking about it. Kane went and wrestled in Mexico, right? He left the UFC and he was out at Triple
Mania.
A,
Yeah, absolutely.
right? And now he's over here with WWE, man. I mean, to me, I don't hate on that, bro. And I mean, I'm not like a diehard UFC or MMA watcher, but I do watch the Canes. I do watch the McGregors.
Sure.
I do watch like the big shows. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, why would I hate? You know what I mean? For me, it's like more power to you if you're doing that. Get that paper. You know what I mean?
money, you
Get
know?
that paper, man.
It's the same coming on our podcast because you have your audience. We have
Right.
ours, and then
Right.
now we're cross-pollinating.
Right,
Now people know
absolutely.
about the Rundown. Rundown knows about the Gym Crashers.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So it's the same thing. Bigger, better, more.
Absolutely.
And you have to work together, bro. You
Absolutely.
have to, network.
And the thing about it, don't you think? Again, for the purists, and there's nothing wrong with it, but I mean, don't you think you're going to tune in to the WWE and see what Tyson Fury does or Cain Velasquez does?
You
or
are.
the next time Cain Velasquez steps into the octagon,
Yeah.
or if Fury gets back into the ring. And I mean, now with Ruiz, right? Talk about a legends guy. I mean, literally, he changed the whole sport. It was just Joshua, Wilder, and Fury.
And Fury.
And then Ruiz comes in and changes the whole thing. Now you've got a big four in heavyweights. And in any other time in history, you could always tell how boxing is doing well when the heavyweights are on top.
Yes.
Right? So
Well,
with that being,
it's the best time for
it's
boxing.
the best time, right? So now you've got 4 power players, in not just 3, and you could work that 4 different matches. How many different rematches?
It's kind of
And,
we just have water flying through the
yeah,
air.
absolutely.
One more. There we go.
Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Waterfalls.
We got
Listen to the
MMA
rivers
Events
and the
Inc.
lakes
in the
that-
house. Alan Soren coming to visit us. Got
Yeah.
his flip-flops on and a beer in hand. Always.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
You know? Locals, right? You got those at the ABC store.
I got a manager for boxing right now, Sal Sunsine. What's up, man? He's always out there too, man. Big
cool.
shout out to him.
that's awesome.
No, and you said it, man. I mean, Andy Reese, he was on the show before he became the heavyweight champ, right?
Right.
But his story was very unique because he used to be in Top Rank. he had a few more fights with Top Rank, but he said, and I remember this, man, and I'm not just saying it because we're live right now and stuff, but I remember he said, I'm gonna be the first Mexican American heavyweight champ.
Wow.
And
God bless him.
I believe that. I believe that. And it's just crazy how people have dreams and they go after them, And for him, when he did it, bro, it was like when Juan Manuel Marquez knocked out Manny Pacquiao. And I mean, I'm gonna say honest with you, I lost a lot of money to Manny Pacquiao, bro. I'm Mexican, I threw a lot of money, I lost it. But when Manny Pacquiao was on the ground, bro, like I pretty much was like happy, but then I stopped. Bro. I was like, bro, is he okay? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everybody, I mean, nobody could tell you that, bro. Nobody could tell you like, oh yeah, I was cheering that he was. Nah, bro. Everybody was concerned, bro, when he was on the ground.
He got laid out.
Yeah.
Well,
Right?
yeah, but
And when we're talking about money, right? When you talk about Juan Manuel Marquez, you talk about the great, one of my heroes, Julio Cesar Chavez. To hear that it wasn't until the Pacquiao fight that Marquez really started making money, right?
Yeah.
Or, towards the latter part of Chavez's career, did he really start making money? And you're like, man, if they would have ventured into another forum or whatever and done more media or
If it was
whatever.
available too, right?
Yeah, absolutely, right?
is it that it wasn't available, or is it that there was such a few amount of people
It's
supporting
taboo,
it?
right? It was taboo.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
really do that kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
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 So it's
It was a different time.
right, absolutely. But that's why it's so cool the time that we live in now, because I mean there are so many platforms, right? And most people will say, "Oh, well, there's an overabundance or oversaturation."
Because we
But
love it. There's a hunger for it.
Right. But the thing about it is, not everyone is going to tell the same story.
Exactly.
Right?
Everybody's gonna have a different story.
Right, absolutely. The three of us could all interview the same person, and we're going to get something uniquely different. And
That's
that's
absolutely right, because we all think very different. I
Yeah.
want to know something different than everybody else
yeah,
wants to know.
absolutely. And that's
why
your
this
strength.
show starts at 8 o'clock, because everything comes before that, we delete.
Yeah, I know, bro. I know.
There you go.
I don't know if I was walking into the Sons of Anarchy, bro.
Right, right.
No, but it's good.
You're
It's good.
on
No,
the
no,
OC.
no.
I'm
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
We're the Mayans. We're brown.
but oh yeah. Hey, speaking about that,
You know it.
he was casted, but he didn't want to do it, man.
Hey, no, I would love to do it, actually. Just time,
Would you?
money, everything. Yeah.
You and
that's
Mike
the dream.
Beltran.
Beltran's
Yeah,
on,
yeah, Beltran's on it.
Yeah?
Shout out to Mike Beltran.
Yeah.
Yeah, the ref with the
Yosemite Sam.
handlebar.
Oh yeah, he is in there. Yeah, he is in there.
dude.
Yeah, we
Shout
love
out to
that
Mike
guy.
Beltran.
We love that dude.
Yeah.
He's all heart.
Yeah, but
And I love that about him, bro. Like, cause I think that's his thing. The whole fucking mustache, bro. That's
That's
his
a dope
trademark,
mustache,
bro.
yeah, and so not to kind of put anything on blast, and I know she's watching. So there was a particular fight, actually CFL, the last CFL, right? And I'm like, oh, there's such and such Hall of Famer, and blah blah blah, and she's like, oh yeah, that's great. She literally stops dead in her tracks. She sees Beltran. And I was like, Daddy, would you like to meet him? And I brought her over, and she's just like, oh my God, that's the guy. It's like nothing's legit unless he's there. And I was like, but even my wife that doesn't necessarily watch, she's like, Beltran. I know, like him and Herb Dean.
It's
like
the
that's
truth.
it.
That's the truth.
Now, does she know him because of the fighting game?
Oh, the fighting, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the fighting.
Or the show now.
The minds.
Right?
No, but you get me right. It's like,
No, yeah.
It's both now.
Yeah.
It's gonna crossbreed because the show's bigger than anything else.
well, and that's what I'm saying, man. I mean, when we're talking about people crossing over, they're not selling out, bro. They're just trying to get another avenue.
Making that feria.
Yeah, making that feria, and
We're all
but also,
trying. We're all
you're
trying.
and you're trying to get other people to see what you got, man, because other people can relate to you. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
And
If
for you American folks, feria is money.
yeah.
That's right.
Like, what's feria? Is that cheese?
If there's
Oh
shooting-
yes, it's Greek. I thought you were going Greek
Shut
on
up.
me. It must be part of that keto diet, huh, Joey?
You wanted a Greek salad.
Whatever,
It's
Virgil.
like, as long as there's no olives, I'm good. I'm good.
Whatever, Virgil.
Virgil.
Where's the $1 million man?
Oh,
You should.
oh, never mind. Anywho,
if they're shooting an action film and they're gonna throw George Lopez out a window, I'll step in. I'm in. Right?
Yeah.
all right.
Why not?
So if anybody wants
You
to
would do it?
Throw me out a window
if
for George
anybody
Lopez.
wants to call Dondo George Lopez before we throw him out the
Hey,
window
from
for
the neck
absolutely
down,
no cash.
from the neck down, we are
Hit us up at the Gym
inseparable.
Crashers.
You look like a Punch double, like from
Okay,
Chips.
Punch, give me Punch. That's fine. He's a chubby little
Estrada.
guy. too.
Eric Estrada, yeah.
Wait, wasn't he like
I'll do
something
Puncharello.
Swampland.
like the
yeah.
Appalachian?
I'll
or
sell
something, whatever.
Swampland. There's nothing beneath me.
And he was on a telenovela.
You would do
right?
anything. It's all over.
money.
You're so damn small.
I promised the Polynesian panda I would do whatever it takes, and he knows I live by my word. So
Well, you know, there's like a. Didn't
he'll
they
do
make
it for $2 million. I'll do for
tattoo
whatever it
remake?
takes. We talked
with
about
Peter
this.
Dinklage. You
Yeah,
could be
I'm
Peter
the
Dinklage.
brown Peter Dinklage.
There we go. I like it. Let's do it. Book it. Somebody out there.
Book it.
Gym Crashers Nation. We're calling on you to make Dondo tattoo.
That's right. I am tattoo.
We need
We need a Mr. Rourke. Who's the Mr. Rourke? Who's the tall guy? John De La O?
Nah.
Ah, tattoo.
I'd say Joey the Bull.
Yeah, I look good in the suit, and I can use the accent. I
There
have
you
it on
go.
here already, so.
He's
Joey
the
Bull.
voice.
He is the
Welcome
voice.
to
That makes
See,
some
I-
noise.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
Maybe.
the girls love
Maybe.
it, bro.
Maybe.
My wife loves it.
Maybe. I
Come
think
to the
he.
room,
Wait,
I go, hey,
how
baby.
many other girls other than your wife, Mr.
Exactly. I was like, well, bro, you said the girls love it, bro. I was like,
You know, back in the day when I used to DJ, you know, my wife fell in love with this DJ back in the day.
Whoa. Did she
Oh,
meet
All
you
of her
there?
friends was like, DJ Joey's in the house. I'm like, hell yeah.
From
that's me,
California Girls, or where were you DJ
I
at?
was DJing up the street and DJ Newport Beach. I was all over the
Saharas, Flamingos.
place. I was at Loeffler's before they changed it to
The
99
Venetian
bottles of
room,
fucking wall
make-
over there.
You know, coming in with that hot Beach Boys pet sounds
The
and shit,
library
right?
on Gardigo Boulevard.
Listen, you know, you just did that. You remind me of that one dude from the Nerds, the guy with the javelin. That I can't say. I forgot his name.
We don't all look alike. I'm not Hightower from fucking Police Academy,
Yeah,
you
dude.
asshole.
I know. That's where he went. I was like, wow, dude, you hit it with the high tower, bro.
Oh, Michael Winslow. I'm not him either.
Yeah, you guys are all like just
I barely
like
made a
stereotyping
tattoo
them,
impression. Damn it all.
I like Benson.
I like Benson. He looks
He's
like
more
Benson.
like Benson.
Like a grown, was it
Robert
little
Guillaume.
what's his
Webster?
name? Webster. Grown
Yeah,
Webster.
Robert Guillaume. That's who I see.
OJ Stump Double.
No.
I don't know about OJ.
Fuck that guy.
OJ.
Fuck that guy.
Harry Belafonte.
Hey, but OJ's, look at OJ, dude. He's doing some good numbers right now on his
Twitter feed?
Twitter, dude.
Did I
Check out his Twitter.
So here's the thing.
What's Sammy Sosa?
Family Cecil, asshole.
Dude.
There was a time. I mean, like literally, my first job out of high school, I was working at Hertz at LAX, right? And right on Manchester Boulevard, there's this like
Girls,
burger
girls.
spot, right? Little burger spot.
He's loud. He worked at Roscoe Chicken and Waffles.
That wasn't even around in Inglewood then. It was only on Pico.
It was
like, get your shit
M&M's.
together.
M&M's soul food.
Fuckers.
I'm Crenshaw.
Anyway,
Chinese soul food.
Can I have some cornbread?
So one of my coworkers loved going to this burger spot, right? But she came in and she was fucking mortified, crying, right? And we're like, what the hell happened? And she told us, she was like, I go around and there was somebody fucking up my order, right? And I'm starting to get pissed because I need to go back to
She
work.
got groped by R.
right?
Kelly.
And essentially, she was like, I'm going to come around or whatever. She pulls the fuck around and it's fucking OJ. And
The
he was
Jew?
filming, yeah, he was
In
filming
a
this.
white Bronco?
No. This
Cut
is
it
like
out, bro. Cut it out.
This is 04. This is 04. So he, remember Ashton Kutcher's Punk?
04 is 10
was-
years after. He was still
No,
free.
no.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, he was
Right,
free.
exactly.
Oh, it's before he
Yeah,
stole
he
his
was
own
before he-
stuff.
yeah, he was
So
before he went to jail.
listen, guys.
right. That's
Yeah,
right.
So you're right.
I'm
Fuck
telling you.
it. Damn it, tattoo.
Trying to figure
anyway,
it out.
no.
boss?
Essentially, what happened was he was filming Juice, a parody on Ashton Kutcher's Punk. And he was like fucking with people, and then he was like, "I'm OJ," and we're like, "Oh shit!" And that's what happened to her.
So she got punked.
She got juice. She
Okay,
got
she got
juice,
juiced.
which
I know juices every night.
Yes, I do.
his
I'm a
sock.
juicer. That's right.
You're on that diet, huh?
Whatever it takes. Like I
hey,
said it
protein,
earlier.
protein. It's the spice of life.
That's right. Don't. It's two kind of liars. Ones that say they quit.
Hey,
ones
you're
that
wearing
they
the
never
shirt.
have.
He's on there right now. Ray
Ray Rodas.
Roadies is in the
What's
house.
good?
Well,
Pico
he no
Rivera.
longer. Yeah, he no longer has GBO. He gave it to his dad.
Okay.
He's
But
red
he
boxing.
still
Red
has
boxing.
red boxing, and he's having a show this weekend.
Pico Rivera Sports Arena. Pico Rivera.
Tommy Aaron's fighting, man. He's
Damn.
the Spaniard, straight out of Spain.
Shout out to Tommy Aaron. Holy smoke. That's
So,
gonna be-
so you guys are going, right?
I can't commit
Ray,
just yet, but
are we
we'd
going?
love to go
Are
to
we
your
going?
event, Ray.
Can we go?
Yeah.
That's great. Why don't you guys
The
tell
Gym
me?
Ray,
Crashers
can we
will
come?
be there in
Can
some
we come?
capacity.
Can we crash the Pico Rivera Sports
Wouldn't
Arena?
that be cool?
Well, let's see.
We gotta be
He
cool.
says-
You know,
All right.
Is
we'll
that-
see
is
what
that
Mr.
happening this
Rhoda
weekend?
says.
That's
Yeah,
happening this weekend.
Ah, damn. Well,
Well,
you know.
it's Joey's anniversary this weekend. He'll
Dude,
be
I'm-
It's my wife's birthday on
No,
Friday.
no,
stepping on
honestly.
Hi,
grapes.
honey.
No, I'm doing. I'm not gonna be here next Tuesday, everybody.
Tell us all about it.
Well, because Sunday my wife's taking me out for my birthday to Temecula for wine tasting.
Okay.
And on Monday we're going to the Glen Ivy. So they're gonna bubble me up all the different pools and stuff.
They're gonna have to
but on
change the
Saturday I'll be doing the Queen Mary haunt. The little haunted Queen
Look
Mary.
at this guy all over the
Damn,
place.
bro.
Wait,
My wife takes care of me.
Oh, I know.
Are you-
I was gonna say that, bro. Like you're
what
balling,
is that
dude.
thing from Nightmare Before Christmas? The fucking sack man? Are you gonna be the sack man from Nightmare Before Christmas?
No,
He's gonna give me a sock between my legs and keep talking shit.
Yeah, dude. I was like, he's going to the haunted place, right?
Yeah, I'm going to the haunted ship on Saturday. Sunday I'm heading on to Temecula to do some wine tasting. I love wine.
Okay.
Glenn and I will be on Monday, and then Tuesday is my 10-year anniversary with my
Oh,
wife.
shit.
Years.
10 years.
10 years.
Married to
brother.
the sexy beast.
Good Lord.
Wait, I know you're married to Mindy, right?
Yeah, married to this sexy beast.
Oh,
And then you bought matching Priuses, right?
all right. I'll let
Did
you have
you
that.
guys?
I'll let you have that.
Yeah, it struggles to get up the hill once in a while, but it goes, right?
No, my wife loves her Prius. She's a Prius Prime.
Prius Prime? Is that like Optimus?
Optimus Prime
No,
is a
but
Prius
But
Prime.
equal efficient and shit?
No, she has a fucking tablet in front of her damn. The damn has like a 12-inch tablet in front of her car. It's like a,
Wait, a tablet in front of her car?
it's inside the damn. You know what I'm talking about.
So the console.
Kinda like
console.
that, like the Tesla.
Yeah.
The Tesla.
So you can watch TV and drive?
Prius? Yes.
What do they do?
Fuck,
that?
I'm not doing
What are those for?
shit. I'm just.
I still roll up.
No,
my
you
own
can't do that in
window.
California yet.
I mean, at least I hop my, I'll buy my wife
I
a
don't
car.
know. I
What'd
don't
you
know
do?
what he does.
Thank
Gave
you.
her
Shut up.
kids.
Gave
Sorry, honey.
her kids.
I'm a genetic jackass.
You're an asshole.
Yeah.
I'm married to you and put up with your shit.
Hey, you know what? Clap back. Didn't you call me like ashy and shit last week? Apparently, my aunt.
You walked in here. I see your knuckles. They kind of ashy. You walked in here.
Why are you
He
looking
was
at my
in
knuckles
the
though?
bag, bro. He was in
Yeah.
the bag, right?
Yeah.
You're walking here. I can tell by your
Why?
knuckles.
But why are you looking at my knuckles?
Because they're ashy.
Look at me in the eyes, Joey. Fuck.
I don't know what is going on here. This is a love
This is like a
story.
bromance, bro.
That's
Right
right.
here, bro.
Apparently, he wants your knuckles wrapped
I
around
don't know if it's
something.
sponsored by Cocoa Butter, so
Oh.
It's Shay, because that shit doesn't work for my skin. But anywho,
He's a shiny bastard.
let's,
I'll give him that.
let's talk about what fights got you to the dance. Like, what made you a fan of
Of
boxing?
boxing? Bro,
Roberto
man.
Duran,
No,
Sugar
no.
Ray Leonard.
Actually, no.
Felix Hernandez.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I
Tito.
was like into like the Carvajals, the Chiquita Gonzalez, I don't know if you guys remember Ricardo Finito Lopez.
Yeah.
Those guys, and then obviously the El Gran Sultan, which is Julio Cesar Chavez, all his fights,
course.
brother. But
Payaso, like,
you start getting the Maromero Paez,
Yeah,
who
Paez.
used to. Okay, I lived in Hacienda Heights, and Maromero Paez lived in Hacienda Heights, bro. And I'm gonna tell you this, bro.
That's crazy.
You used to go to the market and you used to see him, bro. It was like
No way.
crazy, but that's when he used to be able to. And see, this is where I have a problem with boxing because he was able to communicate to you. Now they're like a lot. He's punch drunk, bro. So you can't understand him. Like you talk to him, you're like, what you say? All right, I got you, bro.
And
So
it's sad
he's-
because I have friends out there that have been boxing for a long time, and it's the same thing. You talk to them for so many years, now you see them after like whatever, and then now they're like punch drunk. You
Yeah.
start talking to them, and they try their best to communicate.
And,
you're like,
you feel bad, bro.
bad,
You
yeah.
feel bad because you're trying to
but you
understand,
don't
bro.
want to show that in front of them because
No.
like
Yeah,
the homie, you know.
Yeah, so you got to agree, but you don't know what you're agreeing to. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I feel that sometimes these young fighters that are going and sparring professional fighters because they want to
100%.
get that little money. You know what I mean? That's the wrong thing to do because if you're not a professional fighter, bro. No, but you understand what I'm saying,
That
right?
was me back in the day. I used
Yeah.
to spar all professional
That
fighters.
explains everything.
Sorry,
You know,
Mindy.
You're,
He scrambled his eggs early.
you're getting punched by a professional, man, and it's different, bro.
It's
Or
a
even
laser
punched by an
focused.
amateur. Like, I mean, like hard sparring, right? The thing about it, if you look at it, and I'm coming from like the pro wrestling kind of ideology, right? So a lot of wrestlers call it the bum cart, right? There's
Right.
only so many bumps that you could take before your body says, "Fuck you, asshole! I'm not doing this shit anymore," right?
Right.
So when you look at things, I mean, not just body blows, but I mean, hits to the head, what we know about CTE, right? If you're one shot away from hitting the big time, the big money, to really provide for your family, you're going to really stand and bang in a war in your gym, or you're going to stand and bang as an amateur or regional show where you could really show yourself and preserve your body. You know, if there's a way that you could stylistically piece somebody up and not get hit rather than engaging, because the crowd is gonna love like that knockdown, drag out, gunfight or
Right.
whatever.
Right.
But how conducive is that for your career, long term?
Long term, I think it's bad for you long term. You know what I'm saying? But I know that Nevada, according, I interviewed Sean Porter. They're doing something where they're actually before the fight they have a neurologist talk to him, and then after the fight, I guess that Monday they talk to him too, bro. So I mean, there's some commissions that are doing something about it where they're trying to make sure that you are being looked at because. I mean, at the end of the day, it's their
actually
health,
pretty
bro.
cool. I had no idea that they were talking to them that way to see how responsive and cognizant they are, right?
Yeah, and they want to check on that. And I think Sean Porter's even going to the extremes where he's getting. I mean, if I remember the interview, he even gets in that machine, bro, where they do everything for him.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's
Somebody has to do it because there's a whole generation of kids coming up right now. We need to know.
And-
We already saw the damage.
Absolutely.
now, and we all have kids, bro. And I don't know the ages, but would you guys put your kids in the sport? I'm gonna be honest with
That's
you.
a tough sell. No,
Not at that level.
Look at
Not
the
at that
numbers
level.
of kids that are dropping out of football,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They're dropping out of football, and I know there's a lot of kids that are dropping out of like the sport of boxing because people are starting to pay attention. Like there's correlation to like some type of
And
Problems.
there's things going on in the country directly related to a lot of that kind of
exactly,
Absolutely.
bro. Exactly. No, and there is.
We can see it right every day.
right.
We point our fingers at a lot of things, but it may be CTE in the end.
Yeah.
But nobody wants to talk about it, bro.
They
No.
need to.
Well, the thing about it is because there's still money to be made, right? And not to be. Obviously, the promoter is going to look out for himself. Sometimes, if a fighter wins, their gym gets a bit of prestige, right? So
Right.
nobody's gonna
Gonna.
go
Man,
like, "Hey, we don't want this money,"
Yeah.
right?
I said it earlier. I'll do just about anything it takes. So.
Right. So and then when you play
Wow.
into from what
For
we
the
know
Polynesian panda,
about
though. It's not for
fighters,
myself.
right? I
I'm
mean,
not
it's a real like sensitive subject to broach. Like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do that or whatever. We get.
I've never heard those words uttered, especially from a trainer, from a gym, right? You don't say that.
They're not gonna say that.
Right.
We go.
And-
I mean, the best of the best say we stand and bang with whoever you put in front of us.
Right. Absolutely.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. So you're never gonna get a fighter. You're never gonna like ask a fighter, "Hey, we're gonna stop you. You want to stop?" They're always gonna say, "Yes, I want to keep on going." You know
That's
what I mean?
right.
So
They're
sometimes
trained
you
to.
have to protect them from themselves.
That's right.
Absolutely, and that's the role that not only the trainers but also the athletic commissions, and thankfully, like you're talking about in Nevada, here in California, those two states, bar none, in this all of combat sports are pretty comprehensive in terms of what is the aftercare of the fighter going to be like after this fight. They enact certain initiatives that the fighters might not like because it might disqualify them from money that could be had or a training camp or what have you. But I mean, realistically, we've seen some horror stories where somebody's cutting weight or whatever, and again, that's just as bad as
Renal failure, yeah.
renal failure. That's just as bad, if not worse, than a knockout blow to the head. And then you have that failure or whatever because somebody didn't see something and then get knocked out. Oh, it's not pretty. Not pretty at all.
When I used to train my kids back in the day, and I used to have spar out, full on spar, and I noticed that one of the kids get hit pretty damn hard, I used to stop it. Say, dude, all right, take time, go with my brother, and do some jiu-jitsu. They'll get mad at me. I'm like, it's for your own good.
Yeah.
Because if I catch you in this ring again when I'm not here, if I catch you come to the ring and you're sparring with somebody, then you're off for 2 weeks. So I'm just looking out for the kid. The kid
Exactly.
might get pissed off, but I'm like, dude, you're a kid now. Like, just relax. I'm looking out for you. And I think that's what made our class pretty huge because when I see my kids getting really, like, punched hard, you're done. Like, sit out for a couple weeks, let your mind set. Because they may look good in the ring and take a good hit, but if you're getting clobbered like that, bro, I'm not going to risk my reputation and you as my fighter
Right.
to hurt yourself in the near future.
Absolutely. And no, I mean, there have been times where, I mean, I know it might be a shock to some, but I'm not the most graceful person at all, right? In terms of what I can get my body to do or not to do.
You got all kind of boogie in you. What are you talking about?
Yeah. But
You have rhythm, bro.
Yeah.
You
But
can't hide it.
I've got my
I've seen
bell
you
rung
line
doing
dance.
jujitsu, trying to defend something, and I thwap my head and whatever, and I'm just like, damn, you know?
That's
like,
on the ground. We all know you can dance.
Okay, 10
No,
points.
okay,
It's
but
a Polynesian head.
okay. So let's talk about that. So you get your bell rung.
Yeah.
Do you stop?
I stop because
Okay.
yeah, I stop. I'm just like, and I'm not a hard ass, so I'm like, okay, call me punk for fucking
Exactly,
stepping up.
exactly.
Okay, cool. All right, live to fight another day.
That's the Carlton in him. We love
No, no,
that.
no. Okay, so you're saying if you got your bell rung, you're still going?
All day long, motherfuckers.
We were pushed to where I trained under this roof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Go downstairs, talk to the man.
back when I used to train, I mean, I'd spar with people like Tank Abbott, Tito Tiki, all those guys, and Mike Guyman, and all the Joker, you know, back in the day. And I mean, I gave it hell. I didn't give a shit if I get knocked out. I used to hate wearing headgear. Wore mouthpieces.
Because it
that
didn't
was
fit.
And headgear didn't fit. I used to feel like I was suffocating. So I got hit hard. I mean, even with, you know, during the time when Tank was in his downfall, he was a big dude still. He hit hard.
He don't- yeah,
I was
yeah, yeah.
tagging him. I was about 220. I was tagging him all day.
Did he
But
didn't
that
wear
one hit.
he didn't wear headgear.
Oh no, him and I were giving it hell, and I've been hit a lot in my life, and like I said, I think because of that, now I kind of regret not wearing the headgear, because now I feel.
Do you see any type of
I feel it sometimes. My wife, you know, she's a little concerned and she wants me to get checked out, but I'm like, to me, I think I'm good.
Yeah.
You know,
You smoke a bunch of
Is
weed?
there
What'd you do?
haziness of memory or
Yeah,
anything
of
like
course,
that?
there's all that. I mean,
But you are
I'm
getting
on
older
purpose.
too.
Yeah, I'm mid 45.
Yeah. You need a little oxygen too,
You know,
right?
no? But I mean, but I mean,
No, but
he's
honestly, I'm joking.
he's the only one that could probably tell you
But
if he
he's
does
aware.
feel anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel a little different, you know, but it's not where I'm gonna be like going crazy. At least I can still talk.
I
You know,
mean, is it the same feeling? You eat 2 whole burritos and then you know you get carb coma? You can't
Oh,
think straight?
this.
No? It's a little bit different.
Well, it's different because, you know,
Just
we're
curious?
Yeah, you're curious.
Man, can I ask a
it's-
question?
No, but it's just different between him and I because we're different air levels. You know,
That's true.
I'm up here. He's a
The oxygen. There's less oxygen up there where you're at, Joe.
Well, I mean, you used to work with Willy Wonka back in the day, so
That's
I know
true.
how it is.
Golden ticket.
That's right.
No, but yeah, I mean, to me, honestly, in my mind, in my world, I think I'm good.
You seem like you're pretty aware, but I don't know. I don't catch you all day long.
Do you guys feel that in the near future, and it's about a lot closer than I believe, we're gonna be kind of like what the NFL's doing? Well, the NFL is going like
They need
straight
to.
safety.
They
You know
need
what I mean?
to.
Like any type of combat will be like kind of like
Yeah, I think what
Police
has
like
to
that?
happen is a lot of your fighters that are going through a lot of the trauma, the trauma through their head, their speech should come out and maybe start an organization. Because I know a lot of fighters out there, like, you know, I mean, like Nam Fan, love the guy, great fighter. Hear him talk, you can tell he's been hitting it a lot.
Yeah, but he
A lot of-
boxes a lot
Yeah.
too, so you don't see that a lot in MMA
Yeah.
because you're talking 3 5-minute
a lot
rounds,
of the other
5
trainers,
5-minute
like,
rounds,
Same thing.
but not 12 rounds.
12 rounds, right? And that's one thing
Of
about
just
boxing.
striking.
Yeah.
So I
No.
think there should be something out there that
There's-
these guys should come
It's
together. and
2
make-
different games,
Yeah.
and football's a different game, but there's impact as well,
Absolutely.
right? Are we seeing? And you would have to tell me, are we seeing these same kind of things in pro wrestling?
Yes, because
Yes, you are,
yeah,
yeah.
that's a part of the physical. If you are getting signed to the WWE, you have to pass a medical evaluation, and that is a part of like a impact testing. Because unfortunately, there was that Chris Benoit situation where
Right.
where I mean he had the brain development of like a 70-year-old Alzheimer's patient, and he was barely in his 40s, right?
But then you also have Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, Eddie Guerrero, right? Absolutely.
I mean, look at how many
Was it
wrestlers.
Texas Tornado? Didn't he-
But
Yeah.
no, but you gotta think of that's what I'm saying. But you gotta think about all that stuff.
Right, and you know
All
you
the
could
pain
you
pills you're
could
taking.
you could tip your hat to chemical dependency, right?
Right.
With about a lot of them, except for one, had those issues, but even still, was CTE a part of that? Because again, 1970s, 80s, 90s wrestler, you lose your spot if you don't, you know,
Yeah.
and it's the same plight with MMA fighters. Turn down a fight. Turn down a fight as a boxer.
They stop
There's
calling
big money.
And that's,
Right.
that's one of the reasons why I'm a big, and it's a huge sponsor of our show, Our Life CBD,
Right.
because I believe CBD right now is the key of life right now. instead of taking these painkillers that a lot of these athletes and
you might be
wrestlers,
right there.
everybody's out there
I
that
didn't
does
see
top
that.
entertainment are getting addicted to these pills and wind up killing themselves because they're getting so addicted to this crap. I mean, like that Angels pitcher that just died recently.
Yeah.
They,
Tags, yeah.
they found all
Toxicology
Just
says that he
painkillers.
mixed a lot of the wrong things.
Yeah, and I think if we go straight to CBD and tell these like Major League, NFL, anything out there to say, hey, dude, this stuff is really helping out people.
True.
And we should just switch it over. But a lot of people are like, oh, no, because of THC. Come on, really?
There's no THC in
No, it doesn't.
But yeah,
I
once
went to
again,
the MMA events Inc. party and
not to-
passed out.
quick
They'll
shout
tell
out
you
to
that.
Our Life CBD, all 7, Cauliflower Nation, Word of Mouth, MMA Inc. Incorporated
MMA
in the
Events
house.
Inc.
Events
This
Inc.
gentleman is in the room. My goodness.
Talking
Read his
about-
T-shirt.
I
He's
know, where's
across
my
the room.
t-shirt? Jesus.
They don't.
Anyway.
They
We
didn't
got a
make
tube top
seven
for you.
X's.
Guy shout out
Alan,
every
we
week.
can break out a tube top for
We call
Joey the
those
Bull.
parachutes. You can jump out
MMA
of a
Events
plane.
Inc. tube top. There you go.
Anyway, big shout out to our sponsors.
Would you rock a tube top if they made you one?
Dude, I'll rock it two-top for free on front of the camera just to get
He's
some
gonna do
free
the
tickets.
Ezekiel Elliott, bro.
Coconut Joe.
Coconut Joe.
Hey, my wife will tell you, I'm not afraid to run around naked either.
Well, that's your wife.
public.
I don't want to see that.
I'm sure you're afraid.
There's no wild buffalo. Right?
Mr. Dangle's hanging out. Watch out.
It's a very big animal with a very small
Why do
part.
I want to see right? Joey and Dave Denkin in a sumo match?
They say that you grow an inch for every 10 pounds you lose. So do you shrink an inch for every 10 pounds you gain?
Nah, man. You know, I've been on this keto diet for about almost...
Because that means it's inverted by now.
No, I'm kidding you. My wife and I have been on this keto diet for almost about 5-6 months already. She
Yeah.
looks great.
Turtle,
I've
turtle.
lost probably like 65 pounds.
No, you do
And-
look good, Joe. So
and
that
then-
thing came back, right?
Yeah, and then give me another like 6 more months, I'll be able to see my whole penis. You know, right now I can see this tip. When I look
Not
down,
just the
all I
half-
see is the tip.
Because it's always about half
All
hole.
I
yo.
see is the tip. When I look down, it's there. You know. And I finally realized after I lost some of this weight, I need a shave. It's a
Hey,
fucking bush.
It's all right, dude.
Jesus Christ!
you're
I
all
look like Homeboy's
Hey.
beard.
Yeah, right.
You know what? When bushes are hanging out with Ellen DeGeneres, I mean, fuck, everything is game. Just saying.
You don't see the big political on it.
Nothing? Okay. So, I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
10 points.
Hey,
Yeah.
What is
10
wrong-
puntos!
And what is wrong with that, by the way? I don't get the joke.
I don't get it either.
I don't know. I just thought it was weird, and he brought up a bush,
But
so I
George
brought
Bush
up a bush.
hanging out with Ellen. They're rich people. Don't rich
Well,
people hang
I
out?
guess it was something they were honoring her or doing. No, they're doing a museum.
Okay.
There you go.
That's why.
Doesn't Bush
was
hang
there.
out with Chapo too back in the day?
Ooh, hey, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
No habla inglés. I don't know what
Ah,
you're
that
talking
one, bro. Yeah, what do you
about.
mean?
Yeah, I want to go home
no
safe.
comprende.
I know, bro. That
Yeah,
that
bro.
could bet you up.
I don't know you, Dando. I don't know that puto. I don't know me.
Whoa, I didn't say puto. Chapo. Chapo's.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yeah, let's not get shot.
Let that get shot.
Yeah. So,
You're lucky if you get shot, bro. They'll
yeah,
just
dismemberment.
yeah.
They dismember people. You lose parts. You lose all kind of stuff.
Well, first they do a big old speech with the guns in front of your head, and you have to say it in Spanish. Next, they just drop you to the ground and get the machetes and start chopping away.
You been watching those videos, bro?
Why does he know so much?
Hey, bro, literally,
No more Joey the Bull jokes
I
on
don't even
this
watch
show.
the videos, bro.
Fuck that.
Guy.
He knows way too much. No.
They don't have a big enough machete for you.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, my goodness.
Get that chainsaw.
I'm uncomfortable.
You got
Let's
a red
change
one.
subject. So,
No,
fuck
not
anything but that.
Let's get to something that he said.
Tell me.
So you're saying that, and I think Dana or Joe Rogan brought up the fact that the gloves, right?
Yeah.
Right.
In MMA,
4-ounce
compared
gloves.
4-ounce gloves. So you're saying the impact to the head is
Yeah.
not the same as the impact that
Like a
Well-
8, 10, or 12-inch boxing glove.
I'm only thinking about how many rounds and how many shots you take. So, if
But you're
you've only
taking
got-
elbows too, bro.
Well, I imagine you're still taking strong impact, but is it as much and as frequent?
We'll see. Okay, and here's the thing. So,
There's not a lot of
When-
grappling in boxing, is why I say
Right,
this. But
absolutely.
You can grapple the hell and wrestle the hell out of someone in MMA.
and even when you're testing your range, right?
Right.
And obviously, those strikes. What we know about brain tissue and what have you. I mean, even if you dong your head, you lose brain cells, right?
Right.
So if somebody's just kind of testing
Dong
the water
your
and throwing
head.
that jab out there, guess what? Unfortunately, that's a hit to the brain, right?
Exactly.
And when you're doing that over the course of 8 to 12 rounds, right, in championship fights, right? And
Well, 12, yeah.
Yeah, and when they go the distance, right, versus one stiff kick to the head, lights go out, you know, versus the sustained kind of damage. Now, most people will argue that one is more vicious than the other, you know.
It puts you out, sure.
Yeah, but I don't know. And then going back to the glove thing, right? So Joe Rogan has kind of famously said, "Hey, well, why do we even wear gloves? Because you're doing things because you have that protection, right?
It protects
So
the hands more than the head.
Right. So now we have like the bare knuckle.
The bare knuckle.
Right. And now he's even changed his stance because he was just like, look at the amount of cuts and what have you. And you don't think that there's brain, you know, other than the aesthetic look of, you know, cutting somebody's forehead with your knuckles, obviously there's got to be some brain trauma attached to it.
I
as well.
want to chime in real quick. You know, and this is honest to God truth. You know, I've been
Tell
hit
us.
with everything in the world, and I'd rather be hit with MMA gloves than boxing gloves. Totally different. I think boxing
Are you
gloves.
serious?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Well, tell us why that is.
Why?
I think the box glove, it's you have a bigger, fatter range in the glove, and it's of course a lot of it's made out of horsehair, and you get hit with that. That's pretty crazy. But I'd rather be hit with the MMA gloves because I think MMA gloves don't really, to me, as long as I sparred, didn't do any damage to me at all. I've been hitting hard with MMA
We're
gloves
going to
with
test
box
this
gloves.
theory. So
we
we're gonna
should
go
test it, bro.
downstairs. Yeah, we're going to punch
I
Joey in the
can
face.
Bring in the gloves. I'll stand there. We'll put it live on.
We're going to
Okay.
put the panda and you together because you're the same size.
I almost like Reese boxing. We get like Tank. Like we can do this like OC style and whatever.
Well, I don't want to
Tank-
kill Joey. I said let's get the panda. Give him the microphone. Tell us, Panda Bear.
4-ounce gloves, 8-ounce gloves, 16, right?
Right.
The difference between all of them for me when I got hit is the focus on the point of impact.
On the point of impact.
Yeah.
That's it.
I feel the knuckles a little bit more. But the 16-ounce gloves, because there's so much weight behind it sometimes, no matter where it hits, whether it's point or not, I'm still
pound.
getting ringed because it's heavier.
So Joey's
So
right.
so they all equally have their own pain
Joey's
points.
right.
But I think
Robert's
overall in boxing, you take way more punches over the course of rounds.
Because
Right.
it's even more round.
Yeah, so I think CTE is going to definitely be more
More
prevalent in boxing. Your career and your brain damage that you get in boxing is probably worse than MMA at this point.
Unless you're
MMA,
Floyd
you get those. I mean, because the point of impact is so much smaller and direct. Is when you get hit on that chin,
Yeah.
that button's gonna get touched because it's all knuckle. You know, it's all small.
Right.
So I don't know where. Say a boxer who gets knocked out once or twice in his career but has 40 fights, right?
Right.
Over a guy who fought 10 in MMA but got knocked out all 10 times.
Right.
Well, and in the first round with one punch. I don't know what's worse.
Right.
I don't know if taking 10,000 punches in my face or 10 good ones.
And
Yeah,
then
10 good
what's
ones,
the
also
right.
difference?
the person too. Maybe it's everything. Maybe it's the diet,
The DNA.
the DNA. Yeah, your genetics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
True, because my skull's thicker than some people's. Joey got a thicker skull than everybody in the room.
I mean,
Can't argue that.
because there's been times where
Joey got a lot of head.
we all have been hit by something, and people were like, "What the fuck?" Normally, other people go down. I'm like, I didn't even get hit, did I?
That's true. Some
Like,
people feel it.
Some people,
don't.
and there's
Yeah.
other times where I've been kicked,
Some
and
people
I
authentically-
get on a knee because Frank Park just took my liver and shoved it to the other side of my body, and I'm
Yeah.
like,
That's a
Yeah.
pretty big liver.
Exactly what you're talking about. I mean, I've been hit with a golf club in the bat and didn't go down
In the head.
in the head.
You serious?
I'm being dead serious. I'm putting make
I
God
believe
strike
that.
me now. I mean,
What
that's
did
honest
you
God
do? Your
truth.
poor mother. She just smacked you down.
No, it wasn't my brother. It was people that were trying to get with me because they were just hating.
Oh.
Because I was.
That girl.
I was like, I'm
that
sorry.
girl at that
Yeah,
bar
so
is-
He was El Caliente.
El Caliente.
Yeah.
dude.
No, but honestly, I've been hit with
Joey
golf clubs and
Caliente.
bats, and honestly, never,
Nothing.
nothing. I
Nothing?
just stood there like, I looked at the guy like, are you
You
freaking
bent
kidding
the
me?
bat?
I got a question though. Oh, after this.
I'll give him the-
I need to know what you guys did this weekend. I need to know about our friend Daniel, our home.
Okay, so let's just go for that real quick. We
What'd
can
you do this
wrap-
weekend, bro?
So we'll start with my weekend. Friday night. I will, yeah. Adam and I, we
They call me Don
Me and this guy. Yeah.
co-hosted the global event TV event called Celtic Gladiator.
Wish I was there.
Tell us about Adam. What did we do?
We were on the pre and post fight panel, and obviously we joined the fine commentary team of the one Todd Kenley and the great Jonathan King. You can kind of see our mugs there. I like to use my hands.
I noticed that, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. But an amazing night of fights emanating from the Burbank Marriott and Convention Center in Burbank, California. So you can check that out on eventvglobal.com for the amazing price of $9.99 and check out the entire card in its entirety. Oh, should I give out a spoiler that all finishes? All finishes?
And Dave
but how
Roberts,
they
dude.
finish, you're going to have to check it out on Event TV Global.
Did you see Colin? He was there. Oyama. Yeah. Oh
yeah,
shit.
he was.
Who's this?
Jonathan King.
The great Jonathan King and Todd Kenley.
Who's that guy?
That would be Dondo and Adam hugging it out.
Yeah,
Man.
there you go.
Throwing some kisses in there or what?
He does that.
Okay, so I think I know that guy though. Look,
Which
the
guy?
The
king.
handsome
Jonathan
devil
King,
in the
of
middle.
course.
I think,
Oh, I thought
doesn't,
about that guy.
No. Doesn't he work with Steve Bash?
Steve Bash,
Steve Bash.
absolutely, yeah.
Steve
that's
Ba-
it.
all right, I know who
Yeah,
he
yeah,
is.
Bash
brother.
Boxing.
Bash Boxing.
Yeah.
And, and a quick shout out to the new 205 California State champ, Daniel the Raging Bull Arpajon. He fought at Spar Star, which
On
is
Saturday
an amateur
night?
event. Yeah. So it's a camel belt.
Right.
But,
it's the most
state
prestigious title for MMA in the state of California.
In
for
the
sure.
state of California.
Absolutely.
So
And that adds to his already impressive record. He won a title at something that you've commentated for, Fighters Rep,
Yep.
as well as the Cruiserweight California state title. So he's the light heavyweight and cruiserweight state title holders in the sport of MMA here in California.
amazing guy.
Right?
And he's with us over at Jim Crasher's 12,000 Firestone Boulevard. So come check him out.
And I'd also be remiss not to congratulate Mr. Dave Roberts, dual sport superstar, the new Celtic Gladiator
Savage animal.
middleweight champion.
And Johnny Ferris.
Oh, Johnny Ferris won the
that's our
state
buddy
title as
from
well
Rock
at
LA.
Star MMA,
Yeah.
beating a tough Johnny Robles. So
What'd you do this weekend, bro?
Well, no. Let me get to that first, and then I'll get to what I did on the weekend.
Okay.
But I wanted to see, for boxing, usually we have in Southern California. People from up north, they come down here because they're saying
Norteños.
And no, well, I'm not saying that. No, usually they say Southern California is the mecca of boxing.
It is.
Absolutely.
For MMA, for the amateur programs, up north, do they have a big following compared to SoCal, or
This is
it
the
even?
Mecca.
SoCal is,
We're
it's
the
the
mecca for
epicenter.
fighting.
Is it?
It's the epicenter. We're here.
Tell us,
California, really, but specifically Southern California.
And not just that, also jiu-jitsu.
Jiu-jitsu,
In jiu-jitsu,
Muay Thai.
not just in the amateur world, but in the
It's
world.
fine,
We have,
bro.
in Southern California, we probably have more jiu-jitsu than Brazil total.
Really?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now.
No.
Wow.
And not just that,
They
they
brought
just
it.
had one of the most prestigious events you can win,
Yeah, yeah.
the Abu Dhabi. Instead of being in Dubai,
Just here.
they brought it
They
here
brought it here
because
in Anaheim, yeah.
That
Seth,
was last
2 weeks ago.
weekend.
yeah, because the story is, man, everybody told the prince,
Prince of Dubai.
that, hey, you want production? Fight to Win does the best production. Bring them to LA,
And
Fight
they
to Win
did.
will produce it, and it'll be the best event you've ever had.
They did put on a wonderful
And they
event.
did great
We're
numbers from
So
what I hear.
happy to be
Yeah.
there at Abu Dhabi and be a part of that. It's very nice of them. But it's some amazing level grappling. Just stuff you don't normally see.
Now, and I know you brought up wrestling, but I hear more like MMA fighters are starting to gravitate more to like wrestling, right? Than jiu-jitsu. Or they're having more success.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, obviously, there's a rarefied air. I mean, obviously, not every MMA fighter is going to be a Brock Lesnar or a Cain Velasquez that are going to pick it up easily.
Or a CM Punk.
You know, there's a certain how do you say it? Body mechanics that are required to be a professional wrestler. But the same kind of context, not all professional wrestlers can transfer over to MMA or
Exactly.
boxing. They have done it, but to varying degrees of success. And so it's one of those different sport type deal. But again, the fact that we live in a time where we could have a cross pollination of Tyson
Cross-pollination.
Fury coming in, and I mean, my goodness, we talked the whole show about cross pollination. We're talking Muhammad Ali, Antonio Inoki.
Right.
We're talking Floyd Mayweather.
With the Big Show.
Big Show. Absolutely, that was that's a thing. So again, the ones that are able to break through, what incredible athletes and showmen these people are. Ronda Rousey, showwoman these people are, because they
I
can.
think I was more like you, Rodrigo, and I didn't understand. And then John Dello explained to me, even at the beginning of MMA, that they was already crossing over.
Absolutely.
You know,
Tito Ortiz, Tank
way
Abbott,
before even Tito.
Dan the Beast Severn. The
That's
reason
right,
why
Dan
I got
Severn.
into
Ken Shamrock.
Ken
Exactly.
Shamrock
I
as
was gonna
well.
say.
I mean, the whole Pancrase, Funaki, man. Pancrase was a shoot
So
wrestling
this is
hybrid.
nothing new. It may be new to us who are viewers.
the viewers.
Right.
But the
it's-
guys who were there,
it
John
has
was
always
fighting at
happened.
that time and wrestling, so he still does that. So
Yeah,
he's
absolutely.
in-house right now, so we're just giving him a shout-out.
Hey, John De La
We're
O.
going to hear his voice, the voice of John De La
Thank you, gentlemen. I want to wish you continued success both on the air and over the past weekend. You're Celtic Gladiator.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations on what may
Thank
have
you,
been
good
the
sir.
most amazing triumph over
Obstacles.
no, the word I was looking for was mediocrity. No,
I shoot that way, too.
adversity. Triumph over adversity.
Thank you. Thanks for keeping it clean.
I'm definitely a mediocre.
Jesus.
Yeah, man.
We brought it. Anyways, we got Rodrigo in-house. He is
So-
from the Boxing Rundown.
And-
Give it to him, buddy.
My weekend was actually watching Triple G, man. Triple G fight. He fought Derevchenko, and a lot of people say Derevchenko got robbed. But I'm gonna be honest with you. I did a couple of surveys, and people, even though it was close, people still had Triple G winning. Now, the controversy here is Triple G. Canelo says, "You look old, bro. I'm not gonna fight you again, man. I'll kill you." Right? Triple G wants to fight Canelo because he wants to get that payday, right?
Yeah, man.
But if you're Triple G and you had that fight, would you do a rematch? I had a matchmaker on the show yesterday on the rundown, and he said, "Nah, I wouldn't do that fight. That's a dangerous fight to fight that guy again." You know what I mean? That guy came to fight. He gave him a good contest. So
It's already been proven.
now, would you do a fight again if you were Triple G and you got?
I don't think he owes him anything. No.
It's a
No.
it's a zero-sum gain. Obviously, for Triple G, I thought he won both of the Canelo contests. I thought he won it. The first one, it being a draw.
Really?
I was just like, stylistically, I mean, obviously he landed a lot. Canelo landed a lot more significant strikes, but total strikes, volume, and the tenacity, that was Triple G all the way.
Right, I'm gonna get you some, but let me give a shout out to my first co-host, the guy that I started working with, the Boxing Rundown. I have Mr. Boxing Guru, who now works with Adidas Boxing.
Right on.
Hey, there you
Boxing
go.
Guru.
Boxing Guru. So he's a guy that you guys could also bring here, man. He's
Yeah, we'd
a guy
love to have you,
that's been
Boxing Guru. Hit us
Guru.
up, buddy.
Come on.
Hit him up.
We'll hit you up.
There you go. But what I was gonna say is this. Okay, you're saying that the CompuBox numbers, right? But then when we see other fights where Floyd Mayweather ends up losing a fight because of the CompuBox, right? The punches connected, but they don't do it, and it's like we can't play both ways. We can't say for Canelo it's the CompuBox numbers. That's why he lost because
That's a fact.
Triple G hit him more. But then for Mayweather, we gotta say, oh no, wait up, bro. He was hitting them less, but he was getting more accurate punches.
Yeah.
So we gotta be able to play it both ways, and I feel that sometimes as fans we pick and choose who we do. I'm not saying that it's against you. I'm just saying overall, like fans do that. We're like, oh, for this fighter, it's gotta be connected punches. For this fighter, it's gotta be punches thrown. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Significant
double
punches landed.
standards, you know.
Yeah.
Double standards, you know. So
I'm about
good.
significant punches that are landed.
So, Coach, where can they catch you on your social media when people want to look you up?
Boxing Ruckus on Instagram, Boxing Ruckus on Facebook, Boxing Ruckus on Twitter, man.
And the Boxing Rundown.
And
check
the
'em out.
Boxing Rundown, check it out every Monday
Mondays.
at 7 p.m. And on Tuesdays, we load it up on YouTube.
And if you're
What about you, Virgil?
Virgil?
Apparently, you can see me at the gimmick table for $10. Apparently, but I'm according to Woods on everything.
According
I'm not
to
Virgil.
Tattoo. Where they can get you?
Tattoo.
No, hey, you're
12,000.
suing right now, Oscar the lawyer, bro.
12,000 Firestone Boulevard. You can catch me and my buddy Rodrigo on Monday nights. I'm there. He shows up, then he does his show. So we're doing our thing in the same building.
And that's right.
John Doe the Gym Crasher on Instagram and John Dondo on Facebook, as Robert makes me have a Facebook now, but he's handling it for me.
And this is Joey the Bull. We'll catch y'all next week.
Where can they find you, Joey?
Well, Joey the Bull Santana. And I will catch you in 2 weeks because I won't be here.
It's anniversary weekend.
Yeah,
Anniversary
absolutely.
weekend. 10 years, man.
Kindling
10
the
years.
fire.
Happy anniversary, Joey.
And my
Santana
birthday on
Rosa.
Sunday, so I'm gonna be giving it hell, brother.
Give it hell.
Shit.
There's
Okay.
a lot of grapes stomped on with
Yeah,
those
absolutely. This is gonna be like a fucked up I Love Lucy
feet.
grape
Why do you gotta
episode
cuss
or
so
some shit.
much?
I know, what the hell? Well, he's from Inglewood, that's why. You have
Yeah.
to forgive him. Anyway, catch you next week, folks.
We're
This is Jim
educated
Crutchers.
here in Inglewood. Fuck.
I thought you said from England. Inglewood.
Inglewood. Jesus.
Sorry, Woods.
Yeah.
It's killing me. Mr. Soren, I thought you'd be sleeping.